Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. In this video, I want to do something a little different, something that I haven't done on this channel and something I've been wanting to do for a while. I just haven't really gotten around to it, so that's what I'm doing right now. I want to give you guys my first story time, and I want to do more of these on this channel so that you guys can get to know me more as a person because I do have quite the amount of stories that I can tell. So, in this one, I want to talk about the time when I used to be friends with two people who I'm not friends with anymore, but for the sake of their privacy, I will name them A and J. Now, this story starts way back in like eighth grade, middle school, when I first met Jay. Jay was somebody that was in my social studies class, and we got along like off the rip. We were both like very socially awkward. We both like Call of Duty. I think this was around the time when like Black Ops 3 first came out. So when I was talking about it with one of my other friends at the time, he overheard me and he was like, "Oh my god, you have Black Ops 3 as well? Like you play on PS4?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Like, and you guys know how that all goes and how quick dudes just become friends. It was just so easy. Fast forwarding into high school, my freshman year, man, I was a fucking twig, but that's not the point. So me and Jay, luckily we did get one class together, but it was an elective. I forget which one it was off the top of my head, but it was one that wasn't really that important, so we just fucking fooled around all the time. But on the first day of school, when I got to my gym class, I met this other kid, and this is where we get introduced to A. Now, A was like the missing bit to our trio. He was the brother from another mother that I didn't know that I needed to make this friend group complete. Now, when it came to A and J, I would say that they were both very different personality wise. One was more outgoing than the other. A was always the one that was very extroverted, very hard headed as well. So if you told him any little bit of advice, he would just like things would just go in one ear and out the other. I can't tell you guys how many countless times this man just is stubborn and doesn't want to listen, but that's kind of one of the reasons why we got along because I was very stubborn as well at the time. You guys know it's just inevitable that the bros are gonna fight and you guys just end up fucking roasting each other over like the dumbest shit, but you guys always just end up making up together like just by fucking inviting each other to the party on PS4 right after school afterwards. Now, throughout my freshman year, A and J and we were all very close. Like, there was nothing that could have fucking broken us apart. We were literally like fucking glued together. We were like fucking magnets. Now, fast forward to my junior year, in the summer going into junior year, I remember vivid as day, we all started to play this one game called Brawlhalla. Now, say what you want about the game. I know it's probably garbage compared to Smash, but this is all we had at the time because we weren't working. We couldn't really afford new games at the time. And this game being free, we were just messing around on it all day. And we ended up adding it to a rotation of games because at the time we were playing Prime Fortnite. And oh my God, man, I miss Prime Fortnite. Now, going into junior year, Jay started to get a little jealous of A. Now, the reason why was because I don't know if it was because A just started to get a job. He had a little part-time job where he was working in a salon. I believe it was with his parents. So all he was doing was like front desk work, just checking customers in and stuff like that for their appointments. But he was making a little bit of money on the side compared to Jay. And if I had to guess, I think Jay started to get jealous because I was like, like praising A. I was like, man, you're really out here doing your thing. You're in honors classes, AP classes, and now you got a job. Like, man, this guy's gonna be a fucking prodigy, bro. Like, you the man, bro. I was always just the type of person that loved to see my friends succeed, whether if they were doing better than me. I'm not the type of person to be envious of someone else's success. I wish good upon all my friends and people who I care about the most, and I just want to see everybody win. So I would say fast forward like 2 weeks from that day when he got his job, Jay started to get, I feel, just a little bit envious towards A. And it was only because he noticed that one, he was starting to get money. Two, he had a girlfriend, which is something that he's been wanting for I don't even know how long at that time, but he was talking to different girls and nothing was working out for him. So when he saw that he got a girl before him, it was just like such a major flex in his face, I guess. Jay started to distance himself from us and it just felt weird because every single time when we would get home from school, first thing we would do is just turn on PS4, I'd start the party and I invite both of them and only A started to come. Jay wouldn't even get on until like very late in the day. He would tell us that he's studying or doing homework, which we just knew was fucking cap because this guy did not like doing his fucking homework. This guy was failing like two fucking classes. And I think he was failing gym as well at the time. Like, how the fuck do you fail gym? So this starts going on for like 2 months. I could you not. And it gets to a point where me and A are in the PlayStation 4 party and we ask Jay, we're like, "Hey, bro, you good? Like, what's up?" And Jay's just sitting there like, "Yeah, I'm good." Something was clearly bothering him and he just didn't want to open up to us and tell us, which was very weird because he was the type of person that would talk about his emotions compared like more in comparison to us. So then he proceeds to tell us, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just been working." And this is such a major shock for us because we're like, "What? You got a job? Since when?" And he nonchalantly says, "Yeah, bro, I've been working like for a minute now. You guys didn't know? Like, that's the reason why I don't be playing the game no more. Like, I just don't got time for that." And in the back of my mind, we're just thinking, this fucking cornball, this guy think that he's hot shit now because he has a job. Like, brother, why didn't you just fucking tell us? Like, if the dude just got a job, I don't know why he couldn't just tell us that's the reason why he hasn't been online or he hasn't been like, just talking to us in general because he was being very distant. Like, I've never seen Jay like this, especially in 8th grade. A comes into school with, at the time, was like the most popular shoe. It was like the checkerboard Vans. I don't know if you guys remember those things. Those things were like a fucking plague. They were literally everywhere. And then after school that day, I got on to invite my friends into the party once again, like I do. But the only one that was online was Jay. So I invite him to the party and then I just start talking to him like one on one and I feel like I haven't talked to him in a while because he's just been so distant. Considering I've known him longer than A, I just felt like it was just weird that he was even distancing himself from me. So we're playing more Brawlhalla and Call of Duty and we're just chilling and then he asked me, "Yo, bro, what pair of shoes should I get?" And this was just so random and out the blue, so I tell him, "Oh, just get some Jordans or something." And then he proceeds to tell me, I don't know, these like checkerboard Vans, they're kind of tough. Like, I think I want these." And in the back of my mind, I don't think much of it because they're just very popular, like at that time in my school. So I tell him, "Yeah, I mean, you should get those too. If you really like them, go ahead. I think they're really cool." So this man orders the pair of checkered Vans to his doorstep like the next freaking day because he literally comes into school the next day with the same shoes that A has on. I don't know if it was just a flex on him or whatever to show that he's on his level as well. But what was more funny was that he got the same exact color that he did, which was the red and white. Now, when A saw that he had the same exact shoes as him, he complimented him. He thought like, "Oh shit, this is ironic. Like, we got the same shoes. Like, that's kind of funny." And Jay did not say a damn word. He looked at the man and walked straight past him, which I thought was just a little freaking cold. Now, that is just very out of character for Jay. He does not act like that. I don't know what got into this man. I don't know if he just met his arch nemesis. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on with him. So after school, we get onto the party again on PlayStation 4, and I tell him it's just him online again because A is studying for, I think it was honors classes or some AP test or something at the time. And I tell him, "Dude, what the fuck was that? Like, why were you being so cold to A? Like, you didn't even say shit to him." And this man proceeds to tell me, "What do you mean?" This man started to gaslight me, thinking that I was seeing shit, thinking that I was hallucinating, like I didn't just see him blatantly disrespect A in class today. So going into our senior year, this is when we're sitting all at lunch, and I remember clear as day, his phone is just blowing up. So me and A both ask him, "Oh, who's texting you?" And he says, "My girl." "What? You got a girl? Since when?" And he proceeds to tell us, "Oh yeah, over the summer. That's why I wasn't like playing the game and stuff because I just don't care anymore." Bro, the look that me and A gave this man was just so diabolical, bro. Like, we dead ass, we got our lunch, we just walked up and just walked away from him. We didn't even acknowledge the fact that he just said he has a girlfriend. It was so out of the blue, so random, and we just did not care. So then this brings us to one of the biggest updates that came to Brawlhalla. It was like a new skin collab for a character named Mordex. And basically it was like a gacha skin, so you had to keep rolling crates in order to get the skin. The more money you pay, the more odds that you get of getting the skin, so and so. You guys get this already. So A and J both having money, they're able to dump money into this game. Me, I'm just kind of like the freebie. I'm the free-to-play player in this party group. I don't fucking drop money on any games like that, unless it's Fortnite at the time. Now, A gets the brand new limited time gacha skin from the game, and he's so excited. He's playing with it. We're playing rank lobbies, we're climbing, and he's like maining this character now because he's got this skin. We're playing ranked for like a week straight, and we get up pretty high up in the ranks. We're up into like plat, going into diamond, like we're playing 2v2s, and we're just doing so well. Our chemistry is like on point. And during this whole time, we never caught Jay online at all. He was not playing the game at all. So then this one random day, he's online and we invite him to the party, and guess what? This man got the same exact skin that A got. Now, I don't know if he was appearing offline or what the hell it was, but this man was not online for us. And this was, like I said, it was so out of character for him to appear offline as well. This man's been grinding and spending money on this game without us even knowing. So when he joins the party, A tells him, "Oh, damn, you made Mordex too? I see you got the skin." He's like, "Yeah, bro, I've been playing Mordex." Oh, and that was like the biggest lie ever because this man would always main this one character named Val, and I hated Val so much, but this is beyond the point. He was lying to us blatantly in our face again. Now, anyways, there's another character in the game that goes by the name of Nyx. A limited skin drops for him as well. You can only get it if you do these pulls from the gacha, and then once you get enough pulls, then you can get the skin. So A starts to roll for this, and he loves this character. He's been playing this character probably since we first started playing the game. So one day we're playing, it's 4 of us this time. It's me, A, Jay, and A's little brother. Jay pops the question, I feel like playing a new character. Who should I play? I've been thinking about maining someone else. Val's just getting a little boring for me. To then which A said, what do you like to play? You want to play something ranged or melee? And Jay just says, nah, I kind of feel like playing Nyx. So A at this point is a little confused. He's like, oh, but I thought you said you didn't like Nyx, because he didn't like playing that character at that time. He was more of a, I forget, it's the girl with the smoke and the girl with the gauntlets. I forget their names. So when A hears this, he's kind of surprised. He's like, oh, okay, you want to play the same character as me? Okay, I mean, I don't really care or whatnot. So Jay starts maining Nyx as well. If you guys don't see where this is going, then brace yourselves because it gets worse. So towards the end of our senior year, A hasn't gotten a haircut in a while, so he's just letting his hair grow out and like he's like curling it up and stuff like that. He's trying something different because his hair has always been short. And Jay's always the type of dude to have a short haircut. That dude was never growing his hair out up until now. So A comes to school with like gel because he forgets to put gel in his hair in the morning that day while he was getting ready on the bus and stuff. And while we're sitting in gym, me, A, and Jay pulls out gel from his book bag in gym. First fucking thing in the morning. It was the most fucking hilarious shit ever because A was just putting on gel on the bus. So this is when we both ask him, yo, what the hell? You don't put gel in your hair. What are you doing? And this man looks at us and says, oh yeah, I just been trying to grow it out. I'm trying to get it like curly and stuff. At this fucking point, this man was literally just trying to copy A and be like A. He started with the shoes, he started with the skins in game, and now he's doing the hairstyle? Not to mention, he also got a girlfriend on the low, which I wouldn't say he's copying himself there because he was just trying to do that for himself, I guess, but you guys see with the point, you guys see where I'm going with this. It felt a little weird to be around him at this point because considering everything that he's done up until that point, it just felt like I didn't even know him anymore. And like a year later, when we got out of school and we were deciding to get our first cars and everything like that, A was thinking about getting a 2006 Acura TSX. As it was a 4-door, it was an Acura, it was reliable, and it looked cool aesthetically. It was something that he really wanted, and he was always talking about it. And when me and Jay are on the party on PS4 again, this one time, I remember it was late night, we start talking about cars and what cars we're gonna get and things like that. And I tell him I'm trying to get like a 2011 Honda Civic, you know, just something reliable, something cheap. I'm not really going for like aesthetics or anything here. I just want a car to get myself from point A to point B kind of thing. And this man proceeds to tell me, yeah, I've been thinking about getting a 2006 Acura TSX as well. And I froze. I told this man as well, that's the same car that A wants. Like, I didn't know that you liked Acuras or let alone Hondas. And I kid you not, the timing of this conversation was so funny because as I was froze by his answer, A joins the party on PlayStation and he's like, what are you guys talking about? And we were like, oh yeah, we're just talking about cars. And when Jay tells A the car that he wants, it being the same exact model and year that he wants, A just starts crashing out. He starts telling him, dude, I don't know what the hell it is with you, but you need to stop copying me. You need to stop being me. Like, be yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you? He proceeds to tell him like, oh, you think that I didn't notice that you were trying to be me for the past year and a half now? And Jay replies back to him nonchalantly once again, what the hell are you talking about? A tells him, yeah, you're copying me from my shoes, from my fucking lifestyle to the skins in game. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting back hearing all this and hearing my two friends fight, and it was just the most awkward thing ever. So after that argument, they don't talk to each other for, I think it was a couple months. They both just distanced themselves for a very long time. And it was very awkward because we weren't talking to each other as a group anymore. I couldn't play with both of them at the same time during the party. It was very, very awkward. The tension was very high. And it just felt like every single time that they were forced to talk to one another, they were just constantly walking on eggshells. It was one of the most uncomfortable situations for me to be in for that time. So one random night, we get on Warzone and we're just chilling because we just want to play some Warzone. There was like a new update or something that came out that day. After a couple games going on, we get a couple dubs and then we just start ranting about life. A starts talking about college and where he's thinking about going. He's going to this school called UTI. It's like a mechanical school because he wants to learn more about like being a mechanic and getting his hands on with cars and stuff like that. And as soon as I thought that everything was going great, they're starting to talk to each other once again. We asked Jay, hey, where do you plan on going for college? This man said the same exact school. A crashes out. He loses his mind. He is screaming at this man from the top of his lungs. He's had enough. He's sick of him. He can't stand another word that's coming out of that man's mouth. He's in utter shock. He can't believe that this man is literally his fucking copy twin. Instead of this dude having his own life and his own personality and his own decisions to make, he just wants to be like, hey, it's the most weird and creepy shit that you can possibly think of. As soon as you thought that things were going to get better for us, no, it just went down for the worst. So I say fast forward a couple months from that incident, we're no longer friends. Things just got very, very tense because I was associating myself more with A and Jay was getting more envious that I was spending more time with A. Kind of like, how your girlfriend tries to tell you, hey, you're always spending time with your boys on the game and you're not spending time with me, that kind of thing. So Jay starts to distance himself from me because he feels that I've betrayed him, I've backstabbed him, and I'm choosing sides or whatever because during this whole situation of Jay copying A, I was always the one just in the middle, always having to choose a side, always having to, decide who to talk to, who to spend time with, because any single time that I tried spending time with both of them like I wanted to, one of them would just take it the wrong way, and I was never the type of person to choose sides. I didn't want to. It got to a point where Jay started crashing out at me and started throwing really personal stuff that I trusted him with back at my face. And at that point, I just cut him off. I couldn't take anymore because, I feel like once you break that kind of trust with your friends and, you start throwing stuff that they trusted you with, those very, very personal key details and stories and experiences. When they start throwing all that back at your face, it just shows kind of who they really are. And me being the petty, immature person that I was at that time, thought it'd be a great idea to talk to Jay's ex. I was no longer friends with him. I had no association with him. I didn't plan on ever forgiving him or speaking to him anytime, anywhere. Now, I found out that they broke up because A was still following Jay on his Snapchat and his Instagram and his spam account at the time. And he was also following his ex as well. So he was like monitoring both the stories and giving me both the perspectives and stuff. And when she posted that she was lonely and she had nothing to do and she was always bored and being a homebody, let's just say that I gave her company. I gave her plenty of company. Do I regret it? No. But that's going to be a story for another time. So fast forwarding 6 months from when me and Jay stopped being friends, me and A just kind of fell off. We stopped talking to one another because life just kind of started to get in the way. The pandemic hit, and on top of that, we weren't really allowed to go outside and go see one another. And if I'm being completely honest, I really don't recall the reason why I stopped being friends with him because it happened so long ago that it's kind of just a blur to me now. When it comes to the reason why me and Jay are no longer friends, I vividly remember. But when it comes to me and A, things are just a blur. I really don't remember shit. But yeah, I don't talk to either one of them. They're no longer my friends. Moral of the story, I guess, be yourself and don't try to be somebody else. That was probably the most uncomfortable friendship that I've ever been in my entire life. I've never experienced anything like that, and I don't want to experience anything like that ever again. If you guys like the story time, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as I will be posting more of these as I just want you guys to get to know me more and who I am. But I'll catch you guys in my next video. Be sure to be yourself. Don't be anybody else. It ain't worth trying to copy someone else's life or lifestyle or whatever the hell it is that you see in them. But yeah, take care.